Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you my March 2021 completed pages. I'll point out all of the new things that I purchased for March 2021, and then I'll show you the few works in progress that I still have outstanding. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so before we get started with all of the coloring stuff, I did want to show you this case. I'd have to go back and look in my expense listing. I don't know if I got this in March or if I got this in February. I had shown you previously that I had gotten two other cases, and I had mentioned that one of them I'd put my Prismacolors in and that it was really big. So I actually took that one to work because I have colored pencils there because I do like to color during lunch sometimes. And so I was actually able to get something that's smaller that fits the Prisma. Now, of course, it's not as long. So some of the colors I have to split up between sections, but that's fine. I flip through this all the time. It is still a bit big and cumbersome, but I can put this on my desk and still have my coloring book open with just a little bit of maneuvering. What I tend to do is pick a section I want to work on, pull out the corresponding colors, move this to the side, although I'll have it open. And then that way, if I need to pick another color, I can, and it's easy for me to put back. I don't get obsessed over that it's all in the tone range. Just so long as the color range is in the section, that works perfectly fine for me. So I did want to show this to you, and if I can find it, I'll go ahead and link it down because as most things, I did get this from Amazon. Okay, so these are the books that I have that I either didn't work on or I have works in progress. This is a purchase I got in March. Got this from Amazon. You guys know that I really love this artist. Her name is Opal, and it's just the third book in the series. And I have not worked on any of this yet. I think I'll try to get one in here done for April, but this is one that I have not touched. This one I've had since January. I didn't work in this one as well. This one I did not work in as well. And again, if you watched my artist favorite tag video, it's not my favorite, and so because I have so many others that I really enjoy, this will probably be a perpetual untouched one. But we'll see. Maybe I'll take it to work and work on it there. This one I also picked up in March. I have not worked on any of this yet. Again, I need to be a little bit more strategic, I think, on how I attack pages because my time after work is pretty finite and I don't want to transport this back and forth. And I'll show you in some of my completed ones what I generally work on. I did not work on anything for the World of Flowers, Joanna Basford. I have not touched this one, and to be honest, I probably won't touch this one until July. I think there's like Christmas in July things going on here on YouTube, and then definitely around Christmas time, I'll do one or two pages in here. For these next two, these are where my works in progress are. Now, I mentioned this one in the last completed pages video. This was something I had started. Oh, I didn't write it down. Okay, I'll need to go back to that video and see, because I know I started this in late February, but I didn't finish, and I didn't finish because I didn't like how I had done that. But I do want to finish it because, I mean, it's literally the first page you see when you open the book. So that's a work in progress. And this is from the Erie Romantic Country, the first one. And then this is a work in progress. And I actually like how it's progressing, but I tend to just, flip from this book to this book to this book. And I never came back to it. I also do a lot of creative journaling, so my nights aren't just coloring. And so some nights I just don't feel like it, and some nights that's all I want to do. And of course, there's the Stardew Valley life. So those are the two works in progress for that book. And then for the Romantic Country, the second tale, I really wanted to get this one done. I had also shown this in my artist favorite tag video, but then there were some other works in progress that I wanted to finish. And so this got put by the wayside. So these will definitely be something I'll be coming back to for April. As you may or may not know, I did show this in my January-February completed pages video. This is my A5 Stology in a mode term cover that I use for work. And for the month of February, I had inserted some pages of a coloring book I had gotten from Daiso. I just cut it down and glued it in. And so for this month, I was able to finish this one, and I actually like how vivid the white is. I'm not happy with how I did the fairy, but you know, whatever. Most of this was actually done in mild liners or other markers that I have at work. I didn't actually use any color pencils except for here, and then it's a base of a really light pink mild liner and then some color pencils on top. But the rest of this is all mild liner or whatever markers I had at work, and then I did go back in with some black pen, and it's usually just whatever black pen I had handy to just fill in some of the details. And then this was the other one that I finished, and I think it's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland, but I had so much yellows and oranges going on that I did give her darker hair. It's based in, again, markers that I have at work, and then some just quick color pencil on the top of it. And I actually like how both of these turned out. I really like how striking the white is against the dark blue against the yellow. And that actually, there's no base under that, so that's just 2 or 3 different tones of yellow colored pencils that I have at work. At work, I do have my Crayola pencils and my Arteza pencil, so it does give me a wide range of colors and saturations, so I enjoy that. As I just mentioned a little earlier, I do love the artist Opal, and this is her first book, and I did want to finish one of the pages in here. I'd actually like to finish an Opal page every single month, and I think I might have to flip back and forth between the 2 books that I have. The second book, the ones that I've seen on Amazon, are hardback, and I don't know if I'd like working in it. I know I'd like having it, but I don't know if the hardback and what I would assume would be a difficulty in keeping the page flat would be too hard to work in. But what I finished for this month is this page right here. The majority of this, like 99% of this, is Prismacolor pencils. However, those little lines that you see there, and let me see if I can show that with not too much shadows. I actually have these 2 acrylograph pens. So they are acrylic water-based pens, I believe, and so I just use that to bring in some detail to the grass. In their picture, it's white or like a really pale yellow, but I had those pens and I might as well use them, and so that's why I chose this. Now, I wasn't able to get the woods as as nice as I would like it, but I do like the page. And again, just like this one, I do like the idea of leaving all of that blank. And because I did not press the pencil very hard, I like that the white is peeking through the page of the coloring, because to me it just makes it look a little bit more ethereal. Down here I tried to get more saturation on the page, but I don't go ahead and burnish it, because for me at least, I feel that it makes it look hand-drawn, even though I didn't draw any of this. It just makes it look a little unfinished, a little unpolished, and I kind of like that look, especially in this coloring book where it does look like that to me. It looks like something, well, not with my skill level that I could draw, but it definitely looks like a drawing versus some of the heavier line art of some of the others. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I'm really happy with how this one came out. I still struggle with the skin, but you know, I think it gets a little bit better the more that I work on it. This is Nice Little Town 7 by Tatiana Bogema-Stalova. This is something I also got in March, and the page that I finished here is this one. I don't pre-plan, and if any of you have been here for a while, that's not news to you. I don't pre-plan anything that I do. And so I think I would have liked to have more of a difference between the sky and the water here, but I still think there's enough of other colors between them that it's okay. I could have gone darker, but I already have so many layers of pencil here. This isn't the greatest paper. It's Amazon paper. And so I gotten to the point where by adding additional layers, I was burnishing and just basically breaking the tooth of the paper. And so I couldn't add anything more. I could go back, I suppose, with like acrylic paint. One, I don't have, although I did order some black paint from Amazon. And two, I don't know, that just seems messy, and that's why I've sort of avoided doing acrylic paint so far, because of that messiness value. And just FYI, anytime I see a mushroom, I always assume it's going to be red. So there's a lot of mushroom pictures in this book, and so there's going to be a lot of red in this book. But I do like how it came out, and I like how bright and vivid it is. This is another one that I picked up in March, Nice Little Interiors. I thought I had Nice Little Town 4, but this is the one I have instead. So Nice Little Town Interiors, also by Tatiana Bogema-Stalova. And this is the one I finished. Again, I didn't go in with a plan, and so I think I would have done the walls differently, but because I had done the bookshelves and the chair first, then I thought, well, if I use another color, it might not tie in properly. I didn't know really how to work on the rug, but I love how the chair and the bookshelves came out. Again, it's not the greatest paper. I did do a base of Tombows or other markers for some of the things, so like here and for the backing of the bookshelves. I do like to base in markers just because it puts some color on very large spots, but some of these spots here where you see there's a lot of white of the paper peeking through, they weren't based, and you can really tell the difference by way of the color saturation. But I really liked how this page came out. This one here, I mentioned that I had completed a page. I picked this one up, I believe, in March, and the page that I finished was this here. And hopefully you can see that. Now, I love that there is a reference picture, but I also kind of hate that there's a reference picture, because otherwise, if I were to just look at the page and not see any reference, I would just probably do a little bit of shading and highlighting and adding some colors and layers and things, but I wouldn't try to attempt this. This almost challenges me to want to make it look like that. Well, this is done in oils, probably, just based on the pigment. With watercolors, I don't think you could get this amount of saturation. But when you're working in color pencils, at least with my skill level, you're just not going to be able to get that. Plus, I'm not really great at textures. I mean, overall, I think it's a really nice looking page. It's like this is the A version, and this is like the D+. I mean, you've passed it, but you're not really going anywhere with it. And this one, it took me forever. So I started at the end of February, and by the middle of March, when I actually finished this, I was just pretty much over it. There's so much going on in the page that I liked how I did this, but not these. This was just an eraser that I brought through it to bring the look of the ray of light. I don't like how I did the water. By the time I got to the grass, I was over it. But I mean, it's a nice picture. It's just, I don't think it's as done as well as it could have been, or it might have been something I should have just left and come back to. But I don't know. I don't like have pictures just half finished for no reason, or if I get frustrated with something, I just want it to be done. And I think that's how I approached this picture. Eventually, I just wanted it to be done. I do want to tackle another page in this book just to see if, maybe not use this so much as a reference, just color, and then see, how it compares. The paper is a little thick. It's definitely thicker than Amazon paper, but it is smooth, so it is hard for me to get the right pressure for layering colors, but that's a me thing. That's not so much of a book thing. But yeah, I'm not sure 100% if I like this book, but I do want to give it one more attempt just to see if it goes in the Darius song pile, where it probably won't work in it, or if it's something that I'll just occasionally come to. This one I showed in my favorite artist tag, or artist favorite tag, and the one that I finished for this month was this one right here. I really like how it came out. Again, I color to relax and just unwind, and so shading and where the light source is and highlighting, I just do what makes me feel good to look at. I don't necessarily want any of these to look realistic. I'd prefer pretty over realism, and I think it looks pretty. Oh, and this is the Journey to the Secret Library by Adventure Coloring Books. The one I just showed you was Disney Princesses by Thomas Kincaid. Now, I'm actually filming this on April 1st, and I literally got this one yesterday. You guys know that I had been on the fence about it, but I really wanted it, and I've been a bit spendy this month, so why not? So I got this on the 31st. It did officially release, I think, on March 30th, 2021. It is Joanna Basford's World of Wonder, and because I got it and I was only able to work on it last night, I did the nameplate page, and coincidentally enough, we have the same name. I'm pretty sure I'm older. I'm going to be 49 in a few months. So I had the name first. I did do a base of this in Tombow, and then I did some layering on top with my Prismacolors. I did that with a Pentel Touch pen, and then that little thing that is like the little highlight, I did use my Sakura Jelly Roll. I should have just used the Posca because it's not as white and vivid, but then I also think I did it wrong. I mean, it does definitely give you that there's a shape to the balloons, but I don't think I put it in the right place. But I love how this came out. I love how just with a few Prismacolor pencils, that looks old and then it pops out against all of the white on the background. I initially thought before I'd even opened the book that I would work on the very first page. But that's what Joanna did on the very first page. I'm like, sweetie, I want to finish this in March. It's 8 p.m. on March 31st. I'll go for something smaller. And I think for this book, I will be attacking it in sections. I have found that I love detailed pictures, but I need to choose things that I can finish in 1 or 2 settings, or otherwise I get bored or frustrated. And so like this, I can see I could finish one of these bottles in 1 sitting. And then for the background, I probably would just leave it white and then find a poem online that deals with home and shelter and hearth or something along those lines to put right down here. And then maybe just frame it out in maybe like some gold gel pen or something like that, just to make it so that you see the pictures, you see it, but the white background kind of recedes, because sometimes I want to do a background, sometimes I don't, but I also don't want all of this white space. But yeah, I'm really loving this book, and I have to tell you, I think my favorite page is this one right here. I absolutely love this. To me, this gives me all of the Joanna Basford vibes, but also some of the eerie vibes. And those two combinations together, because this one definitely is, I don't want to say more pristine. Erie's work is beautiful, but it's definitely more linear. I don't know how to explain the difference, but I cannot wait to work on this, and this might be something that I work in for April. Again, I don't want to have so many works in progress because, I don't know, it leaves me a little unsettled having that much just waiting for me. Because having a blank or uncolored notebook is one thing. Having a page that I've touched and then it's just sitting there waiting for me to finish, yeah, I don't like that. What I'm not a huge fan of, and there's a few in this and a few in the others, are the animal pictures. This one's not so bad, I guess, because it's comprised of flowers, but the ones I'll gravitate towards more first is probably something like this with the houses and the mushrooms, and then maybe the fish. And look at that page, guys. That's going to be like maybe the end of the year kind of project. You just need to do sections. And then the last two are these two here, and I really enjoyed coming into these. This one is Women's World Color by Colors, and this is by Kira Shershneva, and I did 2 in these. And so this is the first one that I did. Now, when I did the flip through of this coloring book, I did mention I really would have liked to know where these ladies were from, just because it just seems interesting to me and just adds another layer of complexity to the page. Now, I've never had a color by number, color by color before. Sorry, let me move this because of the glare. And I realized very quickly that when the colors are very close together, I really need to pay attention, because sometimes I will actually mess up because I think it's one color, but then it's not really that color because it's just so close in tone to another color. Now with a color by color, I don't think you can tell, but there are quite a few mistakes on this page because of that fact, especially in the greens. But to me, this is mindless coloring. The palette has been chosen. I used either Tombows or my Crayola Super Tips, again, whatever color I thought would match. I did not do this page, and I won't, because from page to page, I'm just going to pick colors I think match the best. I'm not going to keep all of these colors out because I don't have the space for that. But I do love how she came out, and I think the colors are just so fun and vibrant. I tend to like more muted things. I think that's why I like the opal coloring books, but this is something that I can do in like 30 or 45 minutes, watch some YouTube while I'm doing it, and I really don't have to think about it. And I like that. Sometimes I just want to turn my brain off. And then this is the other one that I finished. Again, when the tones are really close together, it does make it a little bit harder for me to make distinctions. And so here in the water, there were some problems. And I think they're actually supposed to be 3 different greens, and I only ended up using 2 because I just could not make the distinction between the different colors. Now, Miss Colleen, I learned about alcohol markers from YouTube, and if you can see, the streaking here is because I used a Tombow, which is a water-based marker. If you use an alcohol marker, you won't get that same streakiness, plus you can also do some layering to it. So I do still want to get my hands on it, but until then, I'm just going to use the products that I have, and I'll just deal. Now, I thought I would work from the back forward, because as you can see, it does mess up this page, but it doesn't mess it up so much that I can't tell what's here. So it does make it look ugly when you're working on this, but I mean, when I'm coloring these pages, no one's here but me. But I just do like just choosing the pictures I want to work on. I did not work on my favorite one though. This one here, the one with the humbuck, and that probably will be maybe the last one that I work on. But I can get quite a few of these because I only just got this on the 26th, 25th of March, and it's only the 1st. And so these are just really quick to bang out, and it does give me a sense of accomplishment. Plus, I mean, they're just fun pictures to work on. And the last one I'm going to show you is this Color by Color, or Color by Colors Stained Glass Mandala, also by Kira Shershneva. This is something I also purchased from Amazon. If I can find any of the coloring books, and I should be able to because I've purchased the vast majority of them from Amazon, I will link them below. And there's a particular order I want to show this to you. So this one I had finished up with you guys when I was doing one of my tag videos, and so finished that the 26th. So yeah, that's the day that I got this book. This one I finished also later that night on the 26th. And this is the picture, because it was the second one that I worked on of the two books, that I realized that I really need to pay attention to what the colors are going on here, because I made so many different mistakes on here. Now, you just see the finish product, and so unless you are really looking, you might not be able to see. And plus, because the colors are there, you might not be able to see the base color anyway, or the base outline. But this one, I'm like, oh, I'm not paying attention, and that should have been that color, or that should have been that color. But the final product still looks fine. Again, because for this one I used Crayolas, or any water-based markers are going to do it. You are going to see streaks, but that's the products I have, so that's the products I use. Now, I really like this book. This book I'll probably get done in the next few months, just because it's just really quick to do. I did do a little bit of journaling though, because I wanted to mention that it was really hard for me to distinguish between the outlines. These colors are easy to see, but once you have just the outline, and if because like there's actually supposed to be two different colors going on here. There's supposed to be this red color and I think this magenta color butted up against each other, and I didn't realize that until I was maybe a third of the way through, that there were actually two different colors on the page. Also, I tend to color at night, and even though I have a ton of lighting now, I don't turn all of these lights when I'm coloring, because it's just actually a little too bright for my eyes, and so that could also be part of the problem. But yeah, now the last one I want to show you I love, but okay, it's this one right here. Now, I did pick up these Mondo Llama glitter paint markers from Target. Today's Thursday. I picked them up on Tuesday because I finished this Tuesday night, because I didn't work on this on Wednesday. Sorry, I'm trying to think of timeline. And I love that they're glitter. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but I love that. They are pens that you have to prime, meaning they're like Posca pens, and so you have to shake and then you have to dab to get them going. Because of the glitter, they actually are a little scratchy to use, and as you can see, there are definitely streaks. It doesn't go down on the page as smoothly as a marker does, but the glitter is just so beautiful. I intentionally left those spaces white because I just like how it pops out like that, but this was really fun to work on. The problem I'm having with this is the glitter, I don't know if you can see it on my hands, is beautiful and gets everywhere. So after this video, I'm actually going to have to go wash my hands, and I don't know if I'm going to use that, because if I'm working on this really quickly and then I want to work on one of my journals, or I want to work on paperwork because I'm doing this during lunch when I'm working from home, then I risk the problem of having glitter everywhere. And I don't know about you, but I don't want glitter everywhere. So while I love the effect of it, I just don't know if I like the aftermath of it. I don't even know if you guys can see, but it is really pretty. And I think on Target, these ran about $10. I'll definitely use them. And maybe because the paper is glossy and shiny, it doesn't soak in as much. So I will have to use this on some more porous paper, but I'll definitely do some testing with it, because I don't mind if it transfers to the other page. I do mind that, if I don't remember to wash my hands, I will be, glitter girl all day. Not necessarily the look I want to go for. Anyway, that's all of my completed pages for March 2021. And I hope I did a good job of pointing out the new books that I have. With the World of Wonders, I am now up to 16 books. I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video. I'm so sorry, Susie. But I will link Susie of Susie's Cottage down in the description box below. I'll link both her channel as well as her destash page on Facebook. She is destashing some coloring books. She does want to get a new fur baby. Her fur baby passed away last year, and with everything going on in the UK where she's at, they don't even have shelter animals that she can pick up. It's a really sad affair. And so she's trying to raise some money so that she can get a new fur baby. And so if you can go ahead and check out her page and help her out. I did order some books from her. I'm hoping they come in like a few weeks, just because I've been a bit spendy and I don't want all of my things to show up at once. I mean, I'm an adult and I can do what I want, but I don't want them to show up at once. So go ahead and check out her channel, check out her Facebook page, show her some love. She does great collaging work. That's how I found her. And then I'll have to go back into her playlist and see if she has any of her coloring pages on there, because I just know her because of her journaling and her collaging. Anyway, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.